Hello YouTube, it's Brad with DividendReaper.com, and today I want to talk about another subject that I really have been wanting to talk about for a long time that still has to do with money. How to make it, how to save it, how to do more with it. And today that topic revolves around being frugal. But I want it to be more than just frugal, because being frugal can get a little boring after a while. So today I want to talk about being deliciously frugal. Ooh, ah. And what do I mean by being deliciously frugal? Well, when I say deliciously frugal, I mean being frugal, but also still living and still enjoying life while you're young or just while you're in good health. Because that's a huge important thing in life that people may forget when they're cutting budgets. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about using neighborhood deals. One thing that my wife and I got a whole lot of slack over when we first started really being a lot more frugal and telling people about how frugal we were and how much we were saving, because you start saving, all of a sudden you want to share with everyone how you're doing it. But a lot of people really got on us for the fact they said, well, you guys are going out eating all the time. How are you really saving all this money? Well, the big difference was that for us, we realized that we really enjoy going out and socializing at restaurants, but there's smarter ways to do it. We just typically don't go out during the normal daytime hours to most of the normal restaurants that people would go and spend a lot of money at. Instead, what we've done is we've actually located a lot of different places in town that have good deals on food, where you could still go out, have an awesome dinner, and pay $15 for the two of you to enjoy. Our personal favorite is Old Chicago. If you have an Old Chicago in your area, fantastic deals for late night. Past 9 o'clock, it's $2 pizzas, $2 wings, $3 drafts. The list goes on, but you get my point. I'm really not spending a lot to live a lot at the end of the week on Friday after I've worked a ton of overtime and kicked butt at work. I deserve a little bit of draft beer, and Daddy's gonna get some draft beer, if you know what I'm talking about. So take a look at the deals around your town. I'm sure there are others. We found a ton of them when we actually started looking for them. It will shock you how many things you have in your town. I can almost guarantee that, because even back home where I grew up, which I deem to be one of the most expensive places to ever live in the United States, I still was able to find deals for less than $5 to go out to a nice restaurant and have deals. You just have to look hard enough to find those and go have a good time for that same price. Now, secondly, I gotta worry about still enhancing this thing up here. That's right, the mind. And the biggest thing that I found was that if I wasn't really feeding the mind was going dead. And not dead, but at least atrophying a little bit and getting to a point where you could notice that there was a slow crawl going on where it used to be leaps and bounds and be able to pick up information. And the fastest way and cheapest way, without feeling like you were stabbing yourself in the gut and forcing yourself to do something you didn't want to do, is we've actually gotten into the habit of going to Barnes & Noble, which in the US is a large bookstore. If you have it nearby you, Barnes & Noble, one of the things that they're really fantastic with doing is that usually when a hot book ends its spurt of initial pops, they know that Amazon is going to come and try, likely, and take over that shoot. So what happens is you see these really good books that were really hot just a few months ago end up on these shelves at the very front of the store for $5. Now, some may argue it's not really being frugal because you can just go to the library and get books, but sue me, I enjoy having a stacked bookshelf, because when I have kids, part of being frugal is finding frugal ways to pass down information. And if I find a book I really love that I'm going to sit down in Barnes & Noble and read the first chapter before I ever even purchase it, if I think that that book is worth that time, very likely it's going to find a place on the bookshelf and at one point in my life get pulled off to be handed down to someone or gifted to a friend. Another gift idea is save more money. You can re-gift these to friends as well. You just have a really high chance of that happening with a really good book that's worth sharing. And finally, for my deliciously frugal episode today, I want to talk about container gardening. I personally do not have a very good green thumb. I got really lucky the first year that I tried to start a container garden on the balcony that we have for our apartment, and the second year everything died. And this is the third year of me trying to do it, and this year I just tried to basically say, okay, well, how easy can I do it, and how dumb could you make this garden but still let it be successful? And I found out without really trying that hard that container gardening can be stupidly simple and wildly, it can amount in incredible yields without really trying that hard. So this year all I did is I went out, I found the cheapest, you could go to Goodwill even and find just anything that's a container, poke holes in the bottom where it can drain out the excess water, put a little bit of soil in it. It's like $5 at Walmart for a giant bag of soil, and then buy whatever seeds you want. And pretty much almost anything I found really can survive in a container garden. You just have to be sure about how many you actually put in there. So this year I just wanted to make it as dumb as possible. I put some soil in one of these pots. I had just read the instructions on the back little seed packet and about how deep I needed them to be, and I literally just tossed a bunch of seeds in it. At that, put a little bit of soil over it to make sure it was at the designated height, and just watered it. And all of a sudden, my entire balcony is covered in banana pepper plants, and they're probably going to be pretty dang good. I'm looking at one right now, where I looked at it right when I got home from work today, and it looks pretty dang tasty, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But the fact of the matter is that I virtually put no work into this whatsoever. Soil, seeds, put a little bit more soil on top, and just water them. Anytime it looks dry, put water on it. Easy. Boom. Plants galore, and you can use that instead of having to buy expensive vegetables, organic vegetables that you might have to go grab without really having to cut the budget because it's super cheap. Seed packets are like $1. Really good idea. Anyways, those are my 3 deliciously frugal but sort of free things that you can go ahead and do to make more of your money and still feel like you're living while stretching your budget and being able to save more at the end of the month. But if you think of any that I haven't gone over, I would love for you guys to share what you would like, so that way I might be able to pick them up, adopt them, and maybe even share them in a future video. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe, visit the website at dividendreaper.com, and anything more, shoot an email to me or even a direct message. I'll be happy to hear from you. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.